We were led to believe that DK wanted out of Seattle because they were losers. And they are losers in Seattle, right? We were led to believe that. And dead-end street, no chance at any postseason glory. And his wish list, if you believe the scuttlebutt, was he wanted to play for a contender, not a pretender like Seattle. He wanted an established quarterback. He wanted a warm weather location. So if that was accurate, that was the criteria, he wanted to play for a legit contender, not a pretender, warm weather, established quarterback, that's strike one, strike two, strike three. Now, it's not to say the Steelers aren't a playoff team. Playoffs? Yes, the Steelers are what's known as a faux contender. They're a good regular season game. They play pretty disciplined football under Mike Tomlin, and they end up winning right around the sweet spot, which is 9, 10, 11 games that gets you into wild card conversation every year. So most of the time they make the playoffs. They have at least a winning record pretty much every year. However, if you do a side-by-side comparison of the Pittsburgh football team to Kansas City, or even those other faux contenders in the AFC like Buffalo and Baltimore, the other teams are a country mile ahead of where the Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves. The Yinzers, though, here's the biggest issue. They have no quarterback. Yeah, DK knows about playing with a bum at quarterback. He had that stiff Geno Smith, who was also traded, more on that later, over the weekend to the Raiders. Wow, can you imagine? It's bad enough having Geno Smith as your quarterback, and then imagine being the team that traded for Geno Smith. Holy crap. Anyway, now the Pittsburgh weather, I've been to Pittsburgh before, beautiful city. Not exactly in the Sun Belt, though. Not exactly in the Sun Belt. The tropical conditions of Pittsburgh, it is tropical if you're coming out of Antarctica or Siberia. It's very, very tropical there. The average temperature in the month of December, 42 degrees, and that's not that bad, but it snows about half the time. About half the month there'll be snow in the month of December. Now, nevertheless, the Maller report card on the DK Metcalf trade, I'm going to give the Steelers a B, and Metcalf I give a C minus. The only reason I'm giving him a C minus here is it's a potluck dinner situation. It's a piecemeal for DK Metcalf, and you have to take the good with the bad. Now, the good is you got Mike Tomlin, top coach, one of the top coaches in the NFL. The really good is DK Metcalf said, you know what, I would like to win. I want to play in a warm weather city, but the quarterback, if I have enough money, I can buy a really nice heater. I can buy all kinds of bells and whistles, and so it doesn't matter. I can make Pittsburgh tropical. Yeah, I put a sauna in there, and it's like I'm hanging out in Miami for $150 million. That's the contract he agreed to stay in Pittsburgh. Now, research finds, by the way, research does find that money can indeed buy happiness. Some people say that's not true. Songs have been written saying you can't buy happiness. Well, it's proven you can. The more wealth you have, the happier you get. That's the reality. Now, meanwhile, we will now see if this mix actually happens. You've got George Pickens on one side, the diva with a capital D. You've got DK Metcalf on the other side, who always seems like he should be playing better. Like DK always seems like he should be a better player than he actually turns out to be. Right? He averaged only 6 targets a game the final 9 games. It turned out to be the final 9 games in his Seattle Seahawks career, and you would assume that if you do keep Pickens, and who knows, they could trade George Pickens and get rid of his ass, but if they keep Pickens and DK Metcalf in Pittsburgh, that's a pretty lethal deep passing game. Unfortunately, 85% of modern football is not the deep passing game. It's the intermediate and the short passing game. That's where most games are won. They got to get a quarterback, and I keep seeing people tossing Justin Fields out there. I don't get it. The reason I don't get it is because Justin Fields blows. Now, Aaron Rodgers makes sense. Now, he also stinks, but at least he's had some success in the NFL. Justin Fields, no. And there's some other names that have popped up here. The Steelers don't have a quarterback. They do have some decent, at least name guys at wide receiver. Now, furthermore, mentioned DK Metcalf. He's not the only pass catcher changing zip codes. The wide receiver known as Davante Adams is taking his talent somewhere else. If you didn't see this one, the news coming out that the wide receiver, late of the Jets, late of the Raiders, former Packer, has decided that he will docu-sign with the L.A. Rams. You can ram it all day and you can ram it all night as Davante Adams gets a 2-year contract, $46 million. It's not really what it appears. So, question for the esteemed panel, does this Davante Adams signing move the needle for the Rams? So I will be pragmatic on this. You probably say, well, you're a Ram fan. You think it's a great move. Shut up. Okay. It moves it, but only a whisker. It moves the needle, but only a whisker, Davante Adams. I'm not going to sit here and sing and celebrate and all that because, if it had been 4 years ago and Davante Adams was coming to the Rams, that would be a different story. Got into a heated debate with the great Steve DeSager on his way out of the building. We have virtual DeSager all night. But he was, Davante Adams can still play. I'm like, he can play, but he's 32. And generally at that point, there's either a slow decline or a rapid decline for wide receivers. But I'll give Adams an A+. I give the Rams a C+ because of the age thing. He's 32, and he did want to play on the West Coast. So last I checked, the Rams, you can't get much closer to the West Coast than the Rams. You just go from Inglewood, and you just drive a couple towns over. Boom, you're in the Pacific Ocean. So $26 million guaranteed for Davante Adams. And for the team, it's only money. It's not my money. Stan Kroenke's got more money than anybody. He can afford it. Who cares? Anybody that gets upset about the money thing, I don't understand. But it is clear that the Rams believe that Cooper Kupp has cracked and he can't play anymore, that they wanted someone who's older but not as injury-prone, even though Davante Adams has had his share of injuries. He's had 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. The Rams' identity is defense. They've got Puka Nacua as the clear number one, and now Davante Adams, in his middle age to older age as an NFL receiver, will slide into the number two chair.
Number two.
Will he have a leprechaun on his shoulder? I don't know. And Matthew Stafford, will have one premium wide receiver and possibly two, Davante Adams, as a number 2 receiver. Should be all right. Now, last thing. We now move to the quarterback room of the NFL. Money, money, money. Yeah, money, money, money. The Buffalo Bills, on a quiet weekend in early March, said, let's pay the man. And pay the man they did. MVP of the financial game. You see, the Buffalo Bills have inked Josh Allen to a 6-year, $330 million contract to play quarterback in Western New York. So how does this Josh Allen massive extension with the Bills compute with you? All right, so it computes to me like a paper shredder because that's what the Buffalo Bills needed to do this. They needed a paper shredder. From what I understand, the Bills took the 4 years that were left on Josh Allen's contract and put it in a paper shredder. They said, that's it. And they started fresh. They said, you got 4 years left. Can you imagine what other business when you have 4 years left on your contract? They say, we want to renegotiate. We just want to pay you more money. We don't have to pay you more money, but we feel like paying you more money. Who does that? Not my business. I know that. No. They don't do that in my business. Maybe they do that in your business, but not in my business. So the NFL, here's the way I look at it. Josh had 4 years left on the deal. And so now he gets, instead of that, 6 years, $330 million, includes an all-time record $250 million guaranteed. Guaranteed. So it's not my money, and that's fine. Bills want to burn money on Josh Allen. Good for them. But the NFL has discovered, and this has gone on for years here, it's been blown up the last couple of years, that they've discovered there's new gold at Sutter's Mill. If you know about the history of California, Sutter's Mill is kind of a big thing. And so the NFL, they've got their pigskin gold rush going on right now. And the reason they can afford all these ridiculous contracts, well, they make money hand over fist, but $110 billion television deal. $110 billion contract in television, and it's likely going to go up above that. And so this is a mixed bag situation with Josh Allen. The reigning NFL MVP, Allen turns 29 in the month of May. So you're giving him, if my math is correct, you're giving him a contract that will be through his age 35 season. So you've got that going for you. Not ideal. From a bookkeeping perspective, though, it's not bad. Now, why is it not bad? Because even with Josh Allen getting this massive amount of money, the highest paying guaranteed contract in league history, and he actually will pass the creepy quarterback, Deshaun Watson, in total a number of guaranteed dollars by like $20 million. But Josh Allen, not to get caught up in the minutia, but we're about to get caught up in the minutia. So Josh Allen, $55 million average annual value with the Buffalo Bills. That is 19.7% of the salary cap, which ranks 13th among quarterback deals. So it's number 13, which is, when you think about it, it's like he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks. He certainly has his weaknesses, but he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. You've got absolute stiffs like Alligator Arms Murray in Arizona, the creepy quarterback Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence and his flowing locks in Jacksonville, and Tua Headache-Alova there in Miami, who have all had higher percentages of their contracts against the cap than Josh Allen. So from that perspective, hey, it's fine. And will the Bills win anything? Well, they've never won anything in my lifetime. They've been close. But they haven't been able to get over the hump. We'll see. And this will not last long. Josh Allen got paid, and now Mahomes will get new money, and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and they'll just be passing around money, money, money.